Good morning, everyone. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed about fixed point iteration only. And we have done one example also. So have you tried this example? Yes, have you tried to find the root of this equation by using fixed point iteration with this accuracy? So let us do this question and you will know the procedure, full procedure of the fixed point iteration. So let us do it. F of x, the function is given. This is f of x is equal to 0 and you have to find the root of this equation. F of x is x cube minus 7x plus 2. And if here interval is not given, then you find the interval. So it is our first step that find the interval. Interval by IVT. So I'm randomly choosing the points here. I'm taking 0. So it will be positive because it is 2 only. And at 1, it is 1 minus 7 plus 2. So it is negative. The root lie in between 0 and 1. So by IVT, we can say that root of f of x is equal to 0 lie in 0, 1. So now in the second step, you will find the fixed point form that will be appropriate fixed point form. So to find the fixed point form. That is x is equal to g of x. So if I find means you have to find this f of x, g of x is equal to x from this equation only. So if I write any random g of x, so I can try for x plus x cube minus 7x plus 2 means I have taken x means I have added x to the both sides. So this can be treated as a g1 of x. So will it work? It is a continuous, no problem with the continuity. And if I take G1, means we are working on 0, 1 interval. So let us take 0, it will be 2. So 2 does not belongs to 0, 1. So you cannot take this function. And if I take another, means you can take x plus any another value also you can take here, means x cube minus 7x plus 2. So here if I find G1, sorry, if I take it as a G2, so let us find G2 at 0 because it is continuous function. So let us find it at least at the end points of the interval. So G2 at 0 is equal to 1, 1 belongs to 0, 1. And if I take G2 at 1, it will be 1 plus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 7 plus 2. So it will be 1 plus 1 by 2 minus 7 by 2. Sorry. It will be 3 minus 1 minus 2. So we are getting minus 1 does not belongs to 0, 1. So again, you cannot take these two. Means you can take any random value also. Means 1 by 4, 1 by 3. You can try for this. Or you can take any C also. And for which the condition should be true. That 3 conditions should be true. And in the third, if I take, this is the equation x cube minus 7x plus 2 equal to 0. So if I keep x cube in the left side and 7x minus 2 in the right side, then x will be 7x minus 2 raised to power 1 by 3. So this can be also our g of x. Is it continuous? So let us check at 0. it is minus 2 raised to power 1 by 3. So does not belongs to 0, 1. So you can take this also. G. Now let us take another one. If I take x, means if I take 7x here and x cube plus 2. So it will be x cube plus 2 divided by 7. This can be also of a g of x. So it is a continuous function because it is a polynomial of degree 3. So the adding polynomial on the finite interval is always continuous. So this is continuous function and g4 at, let us check at the end points. G4 at 0. So it is 2 by 7 belongs to 0, 1. At 1, it is 1 by 1 plus 2 by 7. So it is 3 by 7 belongs to 0, 1. So their end points are going to 0, 1. Means if I check at the function, it belongs to 0, 1. So now find the other values also at the middle points of this 0, 1. So to find maps into itself, you have to find that maximum and minimum value. So to find the maximum and minimum value.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, like in the second step, we took half as the constant, so we could take any other constant
Any
also.
other constant, yeah. You can take any C belongs to real number.
Okay.
Ma'am, are there any compulsions or there we are just assuming these iterations?
Here, first, second, third step.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are assuming this. And we are finding the appropriate g of x only, nothing else.
Then it can vary from a person to person iterations also. Then also. It's okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Maybe suppose you are getting in the fourth step, someone get in the fifth step also in another g of x also. Another g of x also can be appropriate. It is not the case there is only one unique g of x will exist.
If someone directly approaches to the fourth one, then also it's
That
okay.
is also okay. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Maximum and minimum value. So of g of x, g4 of x we are taking. So let us find derivative. So what its derivative? It is 3x square by 3x square by 7. So it is positive overall for all x belongs to 0, 1. So which implies g4x is increasing function. Increasing function on 0, 1. So increasing, it means maximum value of g4 of x is at g4 at 1. So it is already, we have found that 3 by 7 belongs to 0, 1. And minimum value, we are checking at only at the boundary points because it is an increasing function. And so you are getting the maximum value and minimum value on the end point of this interval. That's why we are checking only at the boundary points here. 0. So it is 2 by 7 belongs to 0, 1. So first you have to show that it is either increasing or decreasing. Then you will get the maximum value at the end points of the interval. So it is not because you just find at the end point, then you will say G maps into itself. You just show it, either it is increasing or decreasing. Then you find the maximum value at the boundary. Then you can say G maps into itself. Belongs to 0, 1. For all x belongs to 0, 1. So it means second condition is true. So now to find that condition, third condition, g dash x is strictly less than 1, mode of it. So it is 3x square by 7. Actually, x is from 0, 1. It is less than 1 number. So it is always less than 1 because 3 by 7 is already less than 1 and x square is again less than 1. So if you multiply both, then it is strictly less than 1. So directly also you can say, or you can find by taking double derivative also. Means if you want to prove it, then you can find by taking double derivative. But it is showing if you are taking x belongs to 0, 1. So it is less than 1. So it is true. So it means this g of x is appropriate g of x. This g of x. And it is continuous also. Here I can write g of x is continuous on 0, 1. So G4 of x satisfies the convergence condition. So it means you take the third step. Means you got the appropriate g of x here. So let us take an initial guess. So you take any initial guess between 0, 1. You can take 0, 0.5, 1, any random value you can choose. So I'm taking P naught is equal to 0.5, suppose. So you can merge third and fourth step also. The sequence is generated by Pn plus 1 is equal to G of Pn. So it is G4 at Pn. This is, we can call it G of n, G of Pn. So what it is? X cube plus 2 by 7. So I can write it as Pn cube plus 2 by 7. So let us find first iteration, P naught cube plus 2 by 7. So it is 0.5 cube. So can you find this number? 0.5 cube plus 2 by 7. So it is approximately equal to
0.3035.
0.3034.
3.3035.
Okay. So again, I'm taking this, means P1 cube plus 2 by 7. So it will gives you 0.3035, then cube plus 2 by 7. And accuracy is given to you, means you should know where to stop it. The accuracy is given, you have to find the root, approximate root, accurate to up to within 2 decimal places. So what it is? It will be 0 point something.
2897.
2897. So let us find it again. P3. Here you can check it. P1 minus P2 is not less than your 10 raised to minus 2. If you see the difference of these two. So now again find 2897 cube plus 2 by 7. It is
Ma'am, 0.2895.
95. So here you are getting the accuracy. P2 minus P3 is less than your tolerance. So it means this is your approximate root. This is the approximate fixed point for this g of x and root for the given equation. So here you stop. Means nothing is difficult in third and fourth step, and first step also, but second step is difficult. It is, I agree that it is difficult to find the g of x. But if you don't find, if you are not able to find any g of x, then you can go with the Newton method. Means that will always work. Means this g of x minus, if I take this particular function, x cube minus 7x plus 2, then this will always work. But it is a difficult one because 3 condition that is difficult to check at for this g of x. So it is better if you try for easier one. If you don't find, then you can go with this one. So any doubt in fixed point iteration method? So next we have another question on fixed point iteration only, that iterates xn plus 1 is equal to 2 minus 1 plus c into xn plus c xn cube converts this to p equal to 1. So it is like, if you know, it is like pn plus 1 is equal to g of pn, or I can write it as xn plus 1 is equal to g of xn. So it is directly taking this fourth step. Pn plus 1 is equal to g of pn. They have already taken g of x also. This is your g of x. And it is saying this is the iteration and it is converging to p equal to 1. Converging to 1 for some constant c. For some constant c. So find the value or bound for c for which convergence occur. And convergence will occur when this g of x will be the appropriate g of x. This is already given. This the convergence will occur and this sequence will be converges to 1, but you have to find the value of c for this. Means for which value of c it is converging. So it means this g of x is a already appropriate g of x. And so here you can say xn plus 1, 2 minus 1 plus c into xn plus c xn cube, which is written as g of xn, and it is converging to p equal to 1. So I can write simple g of x also from this because it is g of xn. So now I can write 2 minus 1 plus c into x plus c x cube. So it means it is an appropriate g of x. Appropriate means this g of x satisfied the three conditions for the convergence. So here we have, this is given that xn plus 1 is converging to p equal to 1. So what it means, this g of x satisfy all the three conditions in which interval? Can you tell me the interval? And means what we take for the interval. So this, it means g of x satisfies the convergence condition on which interval? Here you can see, if I take any general interval, then our fixed point will lie in this interval. So it means p equal to 1 will lie in that interval. So if I take in the number line, it is 0, it is 1. You can take any interval in which our 1 lie. So you can take any neighborhood of 1 also. Means I can write it as a 1 minus delta or 1 plus delta. You can take 0 to also in whichever 1 lie. 1 should lie. So I am taking general interval, that is 1 minus delta, 1 plus delta. This is a neighborhood of 1. Okay. So here satisfy three condition. It means three condition means continuity maps into itself and derivative should be strictly less than 1. So continuity will not gives you c value and maps into itself may gives you c value, but we just take the third condition, that is strictly less than 1 condition. G dash x is less than 1.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Please go to the previous slide.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
earlier we had said that like whenever a fixed point exists, we cannot say like the converse will be true. Like the three conditions would be like satisfied. We
But
cannot.
it is no, but it is saying this sequence is already convergent.
Ma'am, I didn't get it.
Actually, result was if g of x satisfied all the three conditions, then xn plus 1, sorry, xn pn plus 1, that is g of pn is a convergent sequence. That was the case, na? If
Yes,
g of
ma'am.
x satisfy all the three conditions, then that pn plus 1 will converge to p.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now here you can see this is the sequence, it is given to you and it is converging to p.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is converging to p. That was the case here we can discuss, means if I take Pn plus 1 is equal to g of Pn, if g of x satisfies convergence conditions, then it will gives you P. But now what was the converse here? On AB interval. So now it is saying if AB has a fixed point, for G, then G of x need not be satisfied the three conditions, the convergence condition. Now it has a fixed point, but it is not saying it does not have a fixed point. It is converging to P equal to 1. That this is the fixed point form actually, and it is converging to 1 means it is a fixed point. So if it is converging to fixed point, then you will always get a that g of x which is already a convergent. Sorry, that will satisfy all the three conditions of the convergence. So I am not saying it has a fixed point, but g of x is not satisfying all the three conditions. Here you can see the difference now. This implies if g of x satisfy all the three conditions, then sequence will converge to P. I'm not saying sequence will not converge to P and g of x will not satisfy all the three conditions. This is also, we can write it. Means if it is not the case, I cannot say this.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you compare X with P?
X with
P?
X means general number.
Yes, ma'am. मतलब जैसे fixed value P है तो उसकी जगह X assume करें, मतलब आपने
Can
कर
write,
लिया।
हाँ X लिख सकते हो. But in the question they have given like P equal to 1. So that's why I'm taking P equal to 1. So G dash X is less than 1. So it means derivative, what is the first derivative? 2 will be 0 minus 1 plus C plus 3C x square is less than 1. So it means if g of x is appropriate, then the sequence will converge to P. So this is if and only if result. Because if you are taking g of x appropriate, then only sequence will converge. Otherwise, it may or may not gives you the convergent sequence. So for all x belongs to 1 minus delta and 1 plus delta. So it is true for all x belongs to 1 minus delta and 1 plus delta. So it means this is a neighborhood of 1 and it includes 1 also. So this is also true at 1. So at x is equal to 1, it is also true. This inequality is also true. So minus 1 plus C plus 3C is strictly less than 1. So minus 1 less than minus 1 minus C, it will be plus 2C less than 1. So if I add 1 to 3 sides, it will be 0, 2C less than 2. So C less than 1. So it means if you take your C in between 0 and 1, then this g of x will be appropriate. This g of x will be appropriate. So this is the required bound, or you can say value of the C. So any doubt in this fixed point iteration? This you understand, means if g of x will be appropriate, only then you will get the convergence sequence. So if I am saying it is convergent sequence, then it will always imply g of x will be appropriate g of x. So next is, so in the fixed point that we have done with our fixed point. So in the fixed point iteration questions, so which type of questions can come in the fixed point iteration? So first question we have done in the starting of the fixed point iteration. So to show that g of x is equal to, means any g of x will be given to you, to show that g of x has a unique fixed point in AB. So here you have to find all the three, here you have to verify all the conditions for this g of x on the given interval. And in the second condition, you have to prove that converse part also, means to show that g of x is equal to any function will be given to you, has a fixed point, has a unique fixed point in AB, although conditions are not true. Convergence conditions are not true. So in this you have to, what you have to prove here, you take g of x. So by graphically or by taking any analytic method, you can say it has a fixed point, but the convergence condition are not set. Means any one of the condition will not be satisfied by the g of x. So here you have to prove this. So next, to find the root of f of x is equal to 0 by fixed point iteration. This is, here you have to do the full procedure. And in the fourth, to find the fixed point, means already g of x will be given to you, fixed point for x is equal to g of x. Already g of x will be given to you on an interval. Then you have to check that this g of x is appropriate, means you have to work on this g of x only. No need to find another g of x. So just find the conditions, check the condition that this g of x is appropriate, and then take an initial guess and find the iteration. You will get the convergence sequence. So here you have to do the full procedure, means you have to find the interval, then fixed point forms, means you have to find the appropriate g of x, then you take initial guess, then you will get the convergence sequence. So these type of question can come in the fixed point iteration. Also there are some other types also, means this type, means like in example star, I can write this type. So our fixed point iteration is over here. So let us come to the another method, that is Newton method, next method. Newton's method. So actually Newton method is the most powerful method. Powerful in which sense? It is converging to the root. Suppose in every, so this is also a numerical method. In the bisection you have already done bisection method, you have already done fixed point iteration. So in both the method you got the sequence and the convergence sequence, and that converges to your root of the equation. But in the Newton method also you will get a sequence, and that sequence will converge to your root. So most powerful method means suppose you are getting a sequence generated by the Newton's method. So that will converge to your p value to the root of the equation faster than the other methods that you will do the secant method also, but this is the most powerful method. The rate of convergence of this sequence will be higher than the other methods. So in that sense, it is a most powerful method. Means if you are, suppose you are finding the root of any equation and you are applying bisection and you are applying Newton's method, both together on same question. And with the same accuracy, if I want to find the approximate root within accuracy up to 10 raised per minus 2. So for this same accuracy, the bisection maybe give you this accuracy in 11 or 12 iterations, but Newton will give you the same with the same accuracy in 3 or 4 iterations. So this gives you the root faster than the other methods. So now, obviously, there are some conditions also for which it will give you the convergence. So what are these convergence condition? So this is the convergence condition. Here you have to take function is what is C2AB. If I write CAB, it means function is continuous on AB. And if I write C1AB, what it means function is continuous and its first derivative is also continuous. But in the Newton method, we will take f is continuous, means I'm taking f belongs to C2AB. So which implies f is continuous. And f dash is continuous, its first derivative is continuous on AB, and second derivative is continuous on AB. Means for which we are finding the root of this equation, it should be continuous, is first and second derivative are also continuous. And let P naught belongs to AB, they have taken initial guess from any interval, be an approximation to P such that f dash P should not be 0. So here also it is the condition that derivative at P naught or P1 also, means it is not the case that at P naught only, f dash at P naught, f dash at P1, so all are not should be 0. F dash at P2, f dash at P3, all should not be 0. And another condition, first condition is this, second condition is this, and third condition is P minus P naught is small. So what it is, if you are taking P, means that is the exact root of this equation, and P naught is approximation, that is the initial guess. So that should be very small. Means if you are taking your initial guess, you take your initial guess near to your P value. So then it will be, if it is small, then the sequence generated from the Newton's method will converge to your root. So these are the three conditions. So why we are taking these conditions actually? So we are doing the derivation.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you please go to the previous slide?
Yes.
मैम एक बार ये फिर से जाना ये पूरा
Which one?
मैम यही मतलब मेथड है
Here actually for the conditions means convergence conditions kya hai for the Newton's method. Condition means if you are taking a sequence, suppose you are getting the sequence by using bisection method, by using Newton's method. So when it will be converging to your root. So if you take these conditions, then the sequence generated by Newton's method will converge to your root. So what are these conditions? Your f should be continuous, first derivative should be continuous, second derivative should be continuous. And second condition, f dash at, if you are taking your initial guess, that is the another condition, that means if you apply Newton's method, then you will get P1. But suppose you are starting with the initial, if you are taking the initial guess, the first you take, your derivative should not be 0. So this is also the another condition. And P minus P naught should be small. P minus P naught means if P is your exact value and P naught is the initial guess. So you take your initial guess very close to your P value. Now you will ask that, ma'am, P is unknown to us. Then how can we take P naught to too small to P, means near to P? So this is the answer, that if you take, means if you apply IVT on any equation, then by the IVT you will get the AB interval, and we know that P value lies in this interval. So if I take the AB with just a difference of 1 or 0.5, suppose I'm taking 3, 4 as an interval, and I know that P belongs to this interval. P can be 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.9 and 4 also. It can be anything between 3 and 4 only. And if you take your initial guess in between 3 and 4, so that is okay. That it means we will say P minus P naught is small. Means we are taking our P naught very near to P by using IVT, means by taking the interval that we have found by the IVT. Then you take your initial guess from this interval. So that satisfies this condition also. P minus P naught will be small. So these are the 3 conditions. So now let us take the derivation, means let F belongs to, oh, okay. If you take, can we take in, do this in the next lecture? So because here we have to discuss this example also.
Yes.
This is the root, means root of this equation by using fixed point iteration with this accuracy. So here you have to do the full procedure of fixed point iteration. And in the second, you can see here it is positive constant and g of x is equal to this. And you have to do this a and b part here. Show that 1 by a is a fixed point for this g of x. Here you have to check, just check it. If you put 1 by a, you should get 1 by a. So this is the first part. And in the second part, find an interval about 1 by a for which fixed point iteration converges, provided P naught is in that interval. Means you have to find the interval about 1 by a which fixed point iteration converges. Fixed point iteration, when it will be convergent, when this g of x will be appropriate g of x. So let us take that third condition only. This is less than 1. So it will be less than 1. Then you take 2 minus 2ax should be less than 1. Then from here you can find the interval that x belongs to 1 by 2a and 3 by 2a. So here you can see 1 by a is in this interval. And if you take this interval, then your sequence will converge to the 1 by a fixed point. No need to do this question. This is based on Newton's method. So do these question only.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, there was a doubt regarding the first question. Ma'am, like one of its root was lying in close to through or like between 2 and 3. We can prove.
Okay.
Ma'am, and many of the g of x, what was happening was that x minus 2 was coming in the denominator. Like if we take,
Then you cannot take x minus 2 in the denominator.
that is not allowed.
No.
Okay, ma'am.
So you have to find another g of x.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, please show the previous slide once.
Okay. Here you can see you can either take 2, 3 or you can take 1.5, sorry, 2.5 or 3 also. If suppose conditions are not satisfied at 2, 3, suppose it can be true, it can be satisfied at 2.5 or 3 also. Then you can go with this interval also.
Okay, ma'am.
Previous slides, this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Thank you, ma'am.
So with this condition, we will do the derivation in the next lecture of Newton's method.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.